Okay, we will start in a short while. We start now. So, good morning, everyone. We will change the format a bit for today due to the time that is required by Sister Michelle and Sister Hong to leave earlier. Okay. So, before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our book masters to lead us in paying homage to the triple gems. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Masters who could join us today. So today, we have, let us now invite Sister Michelle and Sister Hong, who have been to Bukaya. She'll be sharing, they'll be sharing the experience there. The title, Shade Under the Bodhi Tree. Yeah, over to you, Sister Michelle.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Lily. I just say later. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for the opportunity to share here. Now, I'll wait for you to share the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Can see, Sister?
Yes, thank you so much. Now, I really love this photo that was taken by Sister Hong. And I like to bring, and personally, I like to bring my mentees. Hong happened to be my mentee this last few years, and I like to bring them to experience different missions, maybe through various environments, scenarios, and so on. And I, for one, wanted to go to India this time because of all the overseas missions and medical outreaches that I went for. This mission was not due to natural disasters. And this photo is actually a reminder for me to actually stay enlightened through the various experiences in India. A bit the very short time, 2 weeks there. Now, I wish it was longer, but time did not permit me to be there longer. And this is the place of Buddha's place of enlightenment. And to go or not, is it the right time? Last year, we've been talking about it, about going. And at that time, I was taking care of my mother, who had a fall last year. And she had some eczema on the foot as well. So was she strong enough to be on her own? It's been a year and 2 months since my mom's fall. So the call came from office to me for my registration. And I decided I had to make it this time. And what went into my mind was let go. Time to detach from worrying about mother, time to show my other siblings to take extra time to take care of mom. And so came the yes. And there I went in end of July 31st, from 1st to 14th of August, I was there with Hong. And it's truly happy to have this movie taken by Sister Hong, who was recently certified by Master. And this was an important mission to propagate the Dharma as I wanted also to help Sangren with her aspirations. And so it goes, we are given shade and protected under this fig tree, and time to give shade to others and spread their branches to a higher and a bit wider to India. And here I am in Bodhi. Next. And the question came to me was, which mission should I serve? Do you want to be in charity, education, or medical? And I chose, I was thinking in education and medical is not where I really am, although I was in education and awareness in recycling, but I chose charity. I chose charity, and I ended up when I was there in all missions, mostly in education, as I'm not so much involved in other missions in my journey in Tzu Chi. Honestly, after joining education mission, I felt that I've missed out quite a lot, and I need to catch up with all the processes in the education mission. And I like to say thanks to all those who are involved in humanistic education. In fact, I really full of praise for you guys because it's really something that is a mission that will give hope to many people. And in my agreeing to be in the education mission, I would like to share a little bit on what I observed from the education side. Yeah? And next slide will show you that what I've observed. Because when I went in, there were only 2 volunteers and 2 local volunteers in the education. And I was thinking I'd like to join instead of charity because they probably need people there. And they were happy that I was there. But when I went in, I was just been in the 3-in-1. And then eventually I went into meeting up with, I noticed the humanistic teachers going to schools, to the various schools to talk to headmasters and teachers so that they will allow us to conduct humanistic lesson. I think this is not easy, it's the first step. And more schools are joining in, allowing us to go in. So that was a very, very good start. And I think it has been built over the last few months. And there are so many NGOs that are going to India, and then why Tzu Chi? And I actually overheard or hear from some parents and some teachers that they have seen the changes in the children and in the children's in school, and also at home they are different, you know, they actually change themselves. So I think we have done the right way of introducing these humanistic lessons, the importance of wholesome thoughts and wholesome lessons. Yeah. So I'll go to the next slide, which shows me in the process of doing this humanistic lesson, there are a lot of things that's done in the back end, of which there's mindful planning. So every month, as I see from all the missions, education is one of the missions that I always see they have this proper planning, you know, and they have what they're going to do within this time and so on and so forth. And every week they have to plan for the following week. And I think this is what I see from the pictures, local volunteers and our own volunteer preparing all the things before they go out to the various schools. So it's not just academic lessons, but humanistic education, something that they can practice every day. Yeah? And the facts, of course, when we go to the schools, there were a lot of challenges, as you can see the next slide. And some of the challenges, some of the schools are really, really small compared to our schools here. What I'm showing you are very typically quite good classrooms. They are worse off classrooms whereby students sit until their face touch, almost like the blackboard is right in front of them. And in the left photograph, you will see that the students at the back, there's one row. Actually, these children are from different year. So they are just joining into this whole class. And the second picture also sees another classroom, which is very small. And one of the other challenges that in the schools are usually do not have projectors. And when they don't have projectors, the teachers would have to bring the laptops, and sometimes it's 1 to 2 laptops to show the various videos and YouTubes that we like to show them or teach them. Yeah. So so we have to do what is the best we can. The teachers showing this through the laptops here. And the second, in the next slide, these are challenges that we can overcome easily. And one of the things that in the education area, when you go into schools, the local volunteers will share Jingzi aphorism for the week. which is written in 3 languages. So we are not just teaching them English or Hindi, but also in Chinese. And what I see from here is that we place a lot of importance, as you can see on the back of the pink cardboard there. 老师早安, 师伯早安, 师姑早安. So the 老师 becomes a very important figure in school. And most times when they see us, they just say 师姑师婆, but I think we made them actually greet the teachers first. So they are very clear how to pronounce and say these few greetings. And the Jing Tzu aphorism provided a very good education for them. In fact, I can see these are the 2 local volunteers. Yeah, you can see that in the next slide, what we teach is not just Jing Tzu aphorism, because we also have experiential something that we can show them and get them to act upon what's best for the environment, for example. So we make them, sisters here, make them try to compost bananas, fruit peels, and so on. And the only way we could think of is to get them to do this eco bricks, because in India or in Bulgaria, they do not have a lot of other rubbish. From what I see, is a lot of packagings that come from the junk foods that the children like to eat. So the only way we can do is to get them to stop eating as much. Otherwise, they have to do this eco bricks to cut down the rubbish. So that's one education portion that we introduce inside to the classroom. And on the next one, you will see also my feeling is that it's not about Tzu Chi volunteers going into the classroom to teach, but involving the teachers as well. So in the next slide, you will see how we got the teachers to be in. Not every teachers will join us. I believe because some of the teachers are going to many classes and they cannot afford to be with us. But there are some teachers who really come in and join us to understand what we are teaching. And I feel deeply touched by the action, because they really reinforce the understanding with the students. And in this particular session, we also check the homework. We call it, okay, I forgot the term, but basically we just check the live practices. We give them homework, they do it at home, and they come out and they will present to us what they have done or whether they've forgotten and so on. So actually this one is very good follow up from the teachers or the students. But as you can see from the various number of people or teachers going there, there might be some people who are staying 2 weeks and 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So sometimes our volunteers change, but the cost did not change. The planning of the lessons remain. So in the next one, besides just classroom teaching them, we also felt the need to also teach them recycling at their own village, which is Bakrao. So every day we have sessions like education in the classrooms and also going to the village, and we call it the happy hours. What we want to let the villagers know is that when these children go back to their own village, they will also share with their parents. They will also instill this habit in their village. And from what I see is that this is typically of what we say that 手向上, 手向下 means when we help them, they also help by doing a service themselves to others. So this is what we think that when we teach in the classroom, we also hope that will bring back to their own villages and also to the needy. All right, and next one, we can see that okay, so we think that, all right, we have gone to the schools and what else can we do? So we did not stop. Then we start to invite the teachers to come to some sessions whereby we can share with them more about Tzu Chi. And I mean, they become like the seeds in India. So it's very heartwarming to see that all these teachers are willing to come after their school, which is almost like sometimes half day, and they start school quite early and they end quite early as well. So they come to see us at the hotel, various teachers. So that is, for me, is already the faith is there. All right, sing is there. And also they make a vow to kind of like pass on this dharma to their own people, and they took action by coming for this session. So this is really very touching. And that's even more touching is the next thing is what they do the next one. We can see in the next slide that some of the teachers, we actually introduce or give them a book, which is the Master of Love and Mercy. And I'm very surprised that these teachers, not say surprised, I think I would say that it took me a while to read this book and really understand this book to even share it out, you know. But these teachers are so hardworking, they are diligent, they are so inspired that they share the book in front of us, actually, for all of us. And we thought that with that sharing, they could do more. So we also introduced like life wisdom, master tell stories. I think this has been ongoing for the past few months, but it is continuous effort for the local volunteers as well as the teachers. And surprisingly, when we visited the schools, which is the next slide, we realized that this teacher not only shared to us, but he used what he learned, he shared to his students. So you can see this is an open classroom, which this building was actually Tzu Chi helped to provide them with a roof. So they have classes there and they share, the teachers share the book. You can imagine, it's very touching because I think they found this book and the Dharma by Master to be truly something that they can share to the school. And in the next slide, you can see further that once the children are used to all these lessons, we happen to have a session that is linked through Zoom to the refugee schools in Kuala Lumpur, which is the alternative learning centers, which Tzu Chi is also, our volunteers are there to help out. And I find it very interesting because it actually gave the refugees a chance even we hear the comments from the refugees is that, first of all, they find that there's so many big land and also very refreshing environment, whereas in KL they cannot have much such of this environment. So they actually kind of like appreciate what the students in India have. Whereas if you look at how the difference between the classrooms in ALC and also in India is actually a very blessing for our refugees. I kind of look at it as they are very blessed. So the lessons learned here is there was a lot of feeling contented, gratitude heart and appreciation for what they have. And so you can see from the teachers, they bring to the classrooms, and we go across countries to reflect to other people. And so this is kind of like giving the refugees a sense of like, you're very lucky, you are in a country that also provide you education and you have the chance to be educated. Yeah. Okay, so much for the schools and so on. What is the next one that they do, that we did? We actually education is everywhere, so we even bring to the village, and this is the session whereby not just the children but the parents are taught how the personal hygiene, to wash their hands clean. And it's very heartening to hear from the parents that they will make sure that they learn and help the children to ensure that they keep their hands clean. There are instances where children have, most of them actually can see that they have a lot of lice. I think basically because of the life condition there, the condition that they stay with a lot of animals like cows and sheep in their homes. So probably that is one of the reasons. And also, you can see that the teachers would try to comb their hair and also tie it neatly. So you can see the difference when the villagers, the girls all start to tie their hairs and they feel very nice. Yeah. Okay, so the next one we will go to the, okay, so we have started to talk about to the teachers and they are applying. But who is the most important people, I think, is, and it's also the reason why Tzu Chi is so important internationally, is in any disasters, any missions that we go to, not necessarily disasters, we take with them, we do not leave immediately. What we build is the local volunteers, and this is what we happened in India. We also build up these local volunteers. And while we were there, we thought that we didn't know when we should start to train them on the various subjects and more about Tzu Chi. So it was quite impromptu that we teach them 6 parameters and the 10 precepts, 4 in finite mind, everything that comes to our mind, we share with them. I think that was a good session. And we hope that in the future, we would also continue to do that. And being in English, I think we have a lot of chance here for our English-speaking brothers and sisters to have a chance to also spread out and, on this overseas training. Yeah. And besides that, we also teach Chinese to the local volunteers. Local volunteers, some of them can speak Mandarin quite well. So it is quite an effort, and but it is good for them to know as well. Okay, let's go to the next one on not just teaching them Chinese and so on, but also on humanistic culture. So as we invite the teachers to the hotel where we conduct the sessions, we also make sure that the local volunteers learn about humanistic values and cultures, including how to set up the tables and so on. And all of this, I think, comes to one main point, which is, I think in the next slide, so much about education. I think there's so much to share and so little time. So I'm going to just go through the last few slides here. Based on what I have learned in India, truly is a lot. I learned a lot, and I wish I had stayed longer. But nevertheless, Malaysia is not necessary to serve in just India. There's many other things to do here. So on 1st September, I was listening to a report from our volunteers, especially about the stateless children in East Malaysia to master. And the volunteer actually they make a vow for a school for about another 200 students to accommodate. And master suggested Great Love Village. Yeah. So we hope that this will come true with whatever is needed. So everyone is so touched by the volunteers sharing, and master said, okay, and that's just touch. Sister, let's take a look at what master said. Where there's a will, there's a way. We know that. When we are touched, this is what touched me. When we are touched, then we also have the common feelings and common aspiration. 同感同愿. So we also have to wish and send our blessings to the brothers and sisters over in East Malaysia as well. Okay, and the next slide I'd like to share is about this trip or any other things that we are doing has always been propagating the Dharma and to help or benefit the sentient beings. Whatever that we are doing can you hit return? Yeah, all missions actually are interrelated. Yeah, whatever missions you are. So we need to be aware of all the missions that we are doing, be prepared with what we're supposed to know, and be there. And for me, it's education. I need to be more involved in education. I know that what we are doing is for PCBC, for teenagers and so on. So my personal feeling is that I need to learn a little bit more about education so that I can complete the whole cycle of the 4 missions here. And lastly, whatever you learn, next slide. Whatever you learn, just don't follow what I did. This is one action that is not in my consciousness. I'm not mindful, and probably you do not know what I'm doing here. I'm distributing the biscuits, and what did I do? I throw the biscuits because it's too far away. Yeah. So I think this is never, don't learn from me on this culture. And this picture is serves as a reminder to me to constantly be aware of my actions, speech, and my thoughts. Last but not least, the last slide. Whatever tree it may be, whichever country we serve, we spread our love like the shade the trees provided us. Let it not just be a tree, but let it be a forest. And so this is my sharing, my short sharing, the time given to me to share today. Thank you. And I'll pass back to Sister Lily. Thank you.
Alan, Sister Michelle, for the wonderful sharing. Yeah. Let us now invite Sister Ai Hong. Sister Ai Hong, over to you. Alan.
Okay, good morning, Abbots Masters, brothers and sisters. Kan En for giving me this opportunity to share my short experience while in Bodhi. We were in fact in Bodhi we arrived in Bodhi on August 1st, and we were there for exactly 2 weeks. As you can see in the picture of this is my title page. It's what we see in the morning when we drive on the way from the hotel to one of the village, which is Jadispo.
Sister Ai Hong, sorry, did you share your screen?
Oh yeah, sorry, just a minute.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yeah, can.
All
Kan En,
right. Sorry about that. Yeah.
that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. So this was what I was saying. It's a scene from while on the drive on a tuk-tuk all the way to one of the village in Bodhi. Okay. So in fact, when I was first asked, sorry, it was Sister Michelle who asked me to be her buddy for the Bodhi trip. I had no hesitation, but at the same time, I did wonder how I could actually contribute when I get there. So my initial thought, since I'm actually now who I can serve for charity, so I thought I will focus in on charity, and then being a TIMA member as well, I shall also be involved in the medical side. But in actual fact, just a minute, I get the... Okay. In actual fact, what happened is that I ended up doing mostly medical when we were there, and then whenever in the okay. So a typical day for me in the morning, I will go out with the medical team for the health screening, and usually we are done in half a day, and we will be back to the hotel in time for lunch. In the afternoon, we'll look at whatever activities that's been planned. And then when we are there, we actually are all in the chat group for the Bodhi. So whenever there's activity posted up into the chat, we will all sign up, whether you want to join the charity team, the education team, or the medical team. So the way I have going to share is I will focus in on medical, just like Sister Michelle had shared more on the education. So what do we do in medical? It's very basic. As you can see the first picture here, this is a village map. this was the health screening that we did for the 2 days we were there in Jagdishpur village. And as the village is quite spread out, and this program for the medical team, Sister Kim Yan, who is the retired nurse from Singapore, she's the one who was in charge for the medical team, and she has actually made an effort. This map is actually drawn up by Sister Kim Yan. She actually, before we started the screening, she has gone to visit the village, and she has actually mapped out every house in the village. And we even tagged the house. We actually prepare a tag and numbered the houses so that we will know which one we have completed. And then otherwise we can't recognize. So have a difficulty of recognizing the house. The screening in Bodhi over there, we don't get the participants to come to one place. We actually go to each house by house. As you can see in the picture here, this is one of our volunteers. We're doing taking the blood pressure for the lady, and this is her home. Her home is just it's a small home. You sleep in there, you cook in there, and they even keep their livestock in the home itself, as you can see. So this is how the way they live. It's a very small space, and they may be in the home, we have 4 to 5 people sharing in one home. And what we do there, as I said, is a very basic screening. We just take the body weight, the height to obtain the body mass index, and we take the blood pressure, and then we just use a dipstick for the urine to look at whether there's blood in the urine, any protein or glucose. So only as and when if we find them to be having glucose, sugar in the urine, then only we will do a glucometer test, glucose test. So this is a typical day. We will go out and do all the screening. And as you can see here, this is a team of usually we have 2 teams out so that we can cover as much as we can. And each team will comprise of about 3 to 4 volunteers, and definitely with a local or 1 or 2 local volunteers, as we can't really communicate with them. And what we found during the screening is that I observed is that there are many young mothers, and they at the age of 20, in their 20s, they already have 3 to 4 children. So imagine their life. And then you'll be surprised is that they are all a lot of them are very malnourished. They are big. A normal BMI is within the range of 18 to 23. However, over there in the village, we find that many of them are below 18. So in this village, we actually managed to screen about 130 households. And out of the 130, we have 33 households who were actually classified as malnourished. So that's how their life. And then there was even one, I remember we seeing one expecting mother. And when we look at her, we would think that she's probably 2 to 3 months pregnant. However, she was already in full term, 9 months, and she only weighs 45 kilo. A full-term mother at 45 kilo. So you can imagine that that's how they are. After the health screening at the village in Bodhi, we actually went on to screen various monasteries and meditation centers. So during the 2 weeks there, I managed to follow the medical team, and we covered about 9 monasteries. This is some of the pictures of the places that we went to. And this is the Uruvela Forest Meditation Vihara, which is in Jagdishpur as well, nearby the village whereby we did the health screening. And over there, we screen mainly the monks, as well as those the people who have come in to stay in for the meditation practice. So, and again, here is another temple, which is a monastery up in the Dangawaswari hill, which is within the village itself as well, Jagdishpur village. Over there, I think this earlier too was previously shared by, I think, Sister Su Ching. This is where is the cave temple. And And then this the picture here is actually of the caretakers of the monastery. Yeah, it's freezed. All right. And as I shared, we've gone to a couple of monasteries, and you can see in certain days, the month of August is in fact the start of the monsoon season in India. So on certain mornings, it actually rains, almost daily it rains there, usually in the evening. But however, like as you can see, one of the morning that we were going on to the Namo Buddhaya monastery, whereby is the 100 feet reclining Buddha is located. We actually stop a distance away, and then we have to walk into the monastery, which is right over here. So as you can see over there, when it rains, it gets to be very muddy. So this is how the place is. And we have, as I said, we have done a couple of monasteries. So the following, I'll be just showing you a couple of pictures of some of the places. So what we can, over there, whenever we are doing the monasteries, if it's the monk, we have to leave it to the local volunteers, the guys, to do the blood pressure of the participants, and the ladies are not allowed to do that. However, we are able to do for the nuns as well as the local, the workers or the local people. And this is, I must say, this is the just before, the few days before we left Bodhi. It must be two of the most lovely monasteries there. They are all the Tibetan one, the Trega monastery. Right after over there, the monks were really appreciative of the effort that we put in. In fact, after every screening, we will have our Taiwan 3-in-1, like Brother Luca will be doing a filming and doing an interview of the chief monk, asking them of what they think of the effort, the screening that we've done, and also how are their presence there, what are they, where are they from, and how they started, and what they're doing there in the local, in Bodhi. So as you can see, this is a very beautiful temple, monastery. We had the opportunity to, even following our screening, they were very appreciative of it. They actually blessed us by giving us the white scarf as well as the red string. And then in the Royal Bhutanese Monastery too, we actually had quite fortunate at the end of the screening, and we screened mostly the workers there, and then as well as the monks. And following that, they actually gave us a bit of a tour of the monastery, and we got to see some of the places that wasn't even open up to the visitors. So apart from all this screening that was done by the medical team, as I said, we find that many of the participants are found to be malnourished. So because during the screening, we do not give any medication. What we do is we give them advice. If we find that any of the villagers or the monks, they all are any of the, what they call, like with high blood pressure, or they have any conditions, we actually recommend them to do follow-up at the CHC, which is they call it the community health centers they're run by the local state government. And if the villagers, in the case of the villagers, we do find that some of them are on their own. So what we do is we offer to get our local volunteer to bring them to see the doctors, to consult the doctors and do follow-up. Because we noticed that in screening these people, there are a number of them who actually know that they already have hypertension. However, they don't take the regular medication. In fact, we had one particular participant, we asked them, he knew he's on medication, but however, when we screened him, his high blood pressure was in 180 over 110. We asked him, are you on medication? He said yes. However, they don't continuously take it. When they see that they improve, they stop medication. So we have to advise them that, your medication shouldn't be stopped unless it's been advised by your own doctors. So that's how it is. As I said, we found many households who are with low BMI. So what happened is the medical team will do a monthly distribution of the lentils. And how we give is that every household, if it's just one person who is malnourished, we would actually give supplies for the whole family. We don't only give enough just for the one person. So if a household of 5, so we will give them about 17.5 kilo of lentils for a month. Each person will receive 3.5 kilo. So we give them a variety. So this is our distribution was for the Bakro colony. It's a small colony there. So there was only about 10 households that received the lentils. And this is the picture here is where what we were doing is we were packing. So when this lentils were bought from a shop, but they already pre-packed for us in 1 kilo and 0.5 kilo. So what we'll do is we're given a list of each care recipient, and they will exactly how much we are supposed to give them for each type of lentils. And the team also organized a health talk at this Jadispor village. As you can see, it was a very good turnout. A lot of children, as you can see in all the villages, as each family has many children. And I think it's a drama on alcoholism. As you can see there, alcoholism is not only just the men. In fact, the ladies too are consuming the alcohol. And apart from that, we also have, I think Sister Michelle shared also about hand washing steps. All the volunteers will actually demonstrate the hand washing, the 7 steps, hand washing steps to the participants. And following that, we also have there were speeches by our own local volunteer by Deepak, followed by Brother Kenny, who gave a speech, as well as the local village. So we were involved whenever organizing such talk. We will actually collaborate with their local village head and as well, so that they will try to get as many of the villagers to participate in such talk. My observation of the differences between the two, what I mean is the differences of the screening we see in the monastery, as well as the screening of the villagers. It's a totally two different way. You look at it, the monasteries are big, they have large grounds, and they are very clean. When you step in the gate, you go through the gate to the monastery, this is the conditions you see. Whereas when we screen the villages, the housing are small, and the surrounding area is actually very dirty, and they live in very close proximity. The houses are all very compact, very close to, sometimes in one house, you have 2 rooms, it's 2 households. So, and hygiene is a real issue over there. And when you go to the monastery, the environment there is very tranquil, it's very calm. Whereas in the villages or even in the town, as when we step in and go into the market, it's very noisy and it's very chaotic. When we screen the monks and the workers, we find that their BMI is above normal range. They are overweight. Whereas when we go to the villages, they are tends towards the lower limit for the majority, and the ladies for the ladies. And quite a number of the household, as I said, was malnourished. Like in Jadispor itself, out of 130 households we screened, we find 33 of them are malnourished. That means it's 25%. So that's a very high percentage. So it's totally 2 different worlds when you compare the life within the monasteries and out in the villages. So, and Bodhi being what they call is very promoting Buddhism tourism. So a lot of people might visit the monasteries and the meditation centers there, but where they may not have seen the life of the people in the villages itself. I'll go and share a bit of the charity there, the next one. And we had the opportunity when we first arrived, right after we touched down in Bodhi, Sister Michelle and I was asked, we'd like to follow the team, the charity team out for the bamboo bank promotion. So the bamboo bank promotion was to the shopkeepers at Gandhi Chowk. We do that for the 2 days. And I was asked, for the feedback to find out what do I think about promoting to this shopkeepers. In fact, I find that to promote the bamboo bank over there was much easier than to do it here locally. And the people there were very receptive. Most of the time, it was the local volunteer who would do the promotion. However, whenever we come across any of the shopkeepers that could actually speak English or a bit of English, we would take the opportunity to promote the bamboo bank. And in fact, this particular shopkeeper was asking us, where is this money, the donation? Where would the donation, the collection be spent? We actually told him that the money will be spent locally. And then we got our local volunteer to share with them about what the projects that's ongoing now in Bodhi, about the education team, the schools that we're working with, as well as the health screening and the charity distribution that were done in the local villages. And we also had the opportunity to do the collection of the return of the bamboo bank. And this was the return of the bamboo bank in Pachati shopkeepers. I'm showing you the particular picture of this particular shopkeeper. And I understand from our volunteers was that when they first did the promotion of the bamboo bank, he returned, what he did was, this particular shopkeeper, he returned us the bamboo bank, and what he did was he took the wordings and he actually stick onto his tin. I guess because his shop is selling all the tinware, so he wanted to blend in with the rest of the things that he's selling in his shop. And so what he did was he stick onto the tin and also with the Tzu Chi sticker, and he did the collection. So on the day we were doing the collection of the return of the bamboo bank, the collection was, we could manage to collect back about 24 shops for that day, and it totaled 680 rupees, which is 680 rupees is not a lot of money, but I guess it's the first step. And also this was not been very long. It was only about maybe 2 weeks for this particular shops area here. But the next one, as you can see here, is again on a charity day. On a charity day over there in Bodhi, every month too, we will do a charity day. And it's the day whereby they will go out with the distribution for the care recipients. And as you can see, early in the morning, in fact, this morning, we're normally supposed to set off at 7 o'clock in the morning. Just like when we do health screening, we really set up quite early in the morning. Usually health screening too, we set off at about 7 or 6:30 in the morning. So that day, it rained rather heavily. In fact, it rained, the rain didn't stop till about 9 a.m. in the morning. So we had waited in the meeting room. We waited for about 2 hours before we could actually set off. And we can see here, they were getting ready all the tut-tut with our Tzu Chi banner right at the back. And we have 5 teams going out that morning. And as you can see, the road to the village, and I was in team 1 with Sister Su Ching, who is from Singapore, as well as 2 other local volunteers. Our team was to distribute to 4 care recipients at the Ganga Bihar village. And the tut-tut is actually run on electrical. So some part of the road, plus all the weight of the supplies on the tut-tut, it couldn't move very much. So we actually had to get off the tut-tut and walk to the care recipient's home. And this particular one, because the tuk-tuk couldn't even follow us, he had to park quite far away. We actually have to carry the supplies. So that was, this was our tuk-tuk driver. He was carrying the rice, and myself and Vikash, we were carrying some of the other supplies. And we had to walk quite a distance, and as it had rained earlier in the morning, so it's a bit of muddy, some parts of it. And this is one of the care recipients that received the supplies for the day. And her name was Babita Devi. I find that because the houses, sometimes you can't see the address. It's unlike over here. We physically have an address. We can get ways to go over there, drive over to our care recipients and actually visit them. And over there, we rely a lot on our local volunteers to find the household. And sometimes when you have the name of the ladies, and there may be a couple of Babita in the village. So it's quite difficult. And again, as I say, because the local volunteer, for us volunteers, Tzu Chi volunteers from Malaysia or Singapore, we may change every month that goes and visit. So we don't have a pre-briefing of the care recipients that were going for the day. And similarly, for this particular visits, all the local volunteers too were visiting them for the first time. So we actually had to ask again, the local volunteer to find out a bit of history of each of the recipients. And this particular case for Babita Devi, not only do we give them the supplies, she actually received in total 3,000, equivalent to 3,000 rupees. So what we give was 1,500 of the dry groceries and 1,500 in terms of milk. So for milk, because of the 2 young children that she had, for the milk, what we do is we make arrangement with the local villager who owns the cow, and they would supply the milk on a daily basis to the family. And this was again the return of bamboo bank at Selonja village. I must say that in Selonja village, it's having received the benefit of receiving the assistance from Tzu Chi, you can see that everybody is very engaged. They are very involved. And the adults come in their, I would say, like what you say, they come in their Sunday best. They really dressed up. They will come and they will join in the very festive activity. You know, we have the ceremony of collecting each one lining up to return the bamboo bank. And then following that, you will also have the a bit of refreshment. Everybody queue up for their refreshment, which was just samosa. And as you can see that out of the, I was told we have already distributed about 180 bamboo banks to Selonja village. And then in Selonja itself, during that day, about 160 bamboo banks were returned. And the evening itself, we actually were counting the money, the collection of the donation, and it's fantastic. We actually collected 15,045 rupees. That's 843 ringgit. And you can, as you can see, that they appreciate all the help that they have received, and they are, in their little ways, they are also contributing back and giving back. It was a very, I find that it's really fantastic that for them in their situation, they can still give back. I will just go very briefly into just to show a few slides on education. When it comes to education, all my duty for the day is basically just to take photos for the education team. And earlier, Sister Michelle has shared in great extent on what happens in education. As you can see, the schools are all very different. We went to a number, about quite a few schools. And the condition of the school is very different. In fact, if you look at this school where they had the Zoom with the Harmony students back in KL, this room actually had no light. The light comes basically from the 2 windows in this room. But however, for that day, for the Zoom sharing, they actually installed a spotlight to shine on so that it will be brighter. Otherwise, they can't see the Senani school students at all. And one of this one I want to show you is the younger children at Gongaria school. We were not teaching them there, but we were actually in the class inside. But the younger students were actually just having their lesson outside. As you can see, the teacher is right at the back. So you see the different conditions. So I actually had the opportunity to share some of the photos of to my nephew's children to see, to let them understand. You see, the students in Bogaya are in very different situation. They are not, all of them don't come in school uniform. Some schools just wear their own clothes to go to school, and quite a number of them actually go barefooted to school. They don't even wear any slippers or shoes. And, you know, but however, see, at the end, this is Shanti India. Shanti India is just right behind Bodhi Star School, our hotel, the Bodhi Star, and we can actually walk to the school. Over there, at the end of the lesson, after the sharing of the what they call Chinsa aphorism, they actually were making a small contribution. For some students who don't have money to put in, they will just the gesture of touching the bamboo bank. So it's very thoughtful. Quite a number of the students were actually bringing and dropping in their contribution for the day. So yeah. And again, this is in the afternoon. Every afternoon, the education team will call what they call happy hour. So whereby they go to the villages instead of the school and with the children. As you can see here, normally it's just we are interacting more with the children. The adults will be just standing at the peripheral and looking, observing, whereas in Solonja village, you can see the adults actually will be joining in. As I said, I think if I look at the two village I have visited over there, I must say Solonja village is one village that you can really see that adults are very committed as well, and you will actually come in for that activity as well. And the kids here are students from Serenity school, and they were doing the action. Whereas in the charity, we have our own local volunteers. But over here in the Bakro colony, when we were doing the drama, it was the students from Serenity school that came in and they were again sharing about alcoholism and also sharing about recycling. So what I've done during that 2 weeks was to seize all opportunity to participate in the activities. And apart from that was being shared, I tried my best to join the daily life wisdom that our education team would conduct for the local volunteers. I even had the opportunity to join at least 2 sessions of the learning Mandarin, which was conducted by Sisters Yuri. And then also the English group sharing session with the local volunteers. I noticed is that it's really good team effort, good teamwork during at Bogaya, not only just us volunteers from Malaysia and Singapore, but as well as the local volunteers there. And I do see that in order for this program to continue, for it to be able to sustain, we really need to recruit more local volunteers. And we are truly like one big family, We have all our meals together, and the meals are all lovingly prepared by our own capable volunteers most days. And in fact, Sister Michelle ended up cooking quite a few of the meals for us as well towards the end. And from what I can see is that the 2 Chinsa aphorism, which I identify from this trip, is that when we witness suffering, then only we will really appreciate our blessings. They have very little over there. And the possessions, you see just a small space where they're living space, and everything what they have, you can actually see it, in the open eye. Don't even have a cupboard for the clothes, as you can see in the pictures I was shared, the clothes are hanging there and everything is there. So we must be very glad of what we have and feel the gratitude and be blessed. And the other thing is that I must say that we must treat the world as our classroom, where each person is a teacher and each encounter is a lesson. I find that I've learned quite a fair bit from this short trip, and 2 weeks passed pretty fast. And I think 2 weeks is a bit short for us to be there. I think a minimum would be at least 1 month, so that we can also follow up on some of the things that we've done. Like I said, as like the charity as visit and all those medical team out to distribute the lentils is done on a monthly basis. So if we go in 2 weeks, sometimes we missed out on that. And we also come follow up on the conditions of some of the participants that we have screened. So because there are cases whereby we actually send our local volunteer back to monitor them, so we can follow up on that. Yeah, that's my sharing for today. And yeah, thank you, Kan En.
Sister Ai Hong, for your wonderful sharing. So, really need to seize the time to give with our healthy body and mind. And also, like Sister Ai Hong say, witness suffering, realize our blessing, and seize all the opportunity to serve and benefit them. And all these only can be achieved with working as a team in unity and harmony. Time never enough. Okay. Okay. Now let us now we'll take a quick photo, and after that Sister Su Ching will share the weekly summary, and followed by Dr. Alan Hsu will be sharing next. Okay. Let us have a good picture. Those If you are convenient, can turn on your video. We'll take a good picture. Okay. Yeah. Anyone can turn on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Go on there. Okay, now let us okay, so cảm ơn Sister Michelle and Sister Hai Hong for that wonderful sharing. Now let us invite Sister Su Ching for the weekly summary. Cảm ơn.
Thank you, Sister Lily. Hold on now. Okay, so last week was very special. Why is my camera so blur? Okay, last week was very special. We had sharers all the way from the US. That is Brother Sun Kun and Sister Fang Wen. In a journey to happiness, their story does unfold. Sister Fang Wen and Brother Sun Kun are a couple with hearts of pure gold, brewing with gratitude, respect, and love, their guiding star above, turning every experience into something truly great, guided by unconditional love. Since the tender age of 12, their paths began to twine. Neighbors they became in this world so fine. At 15, Brother Sun Kun noticed her. His heart began to pine for Sister Fang Wen, and thus destiny's plan did so align. Together in middle school and later college side by side, Brother Sun Kun aimed to impress her with knowledge as his guide. His grade soared high and his character did shine. He wanted more than just what's yours is yours and what's mine is mine. 3 times rejected, yet he did not falter, for his love was true and so his devotion would not alter. With positive influence, love's flame began to change. Sister Fang Wen accepted and their lives began to rearrange. Brother Sun Kun's past held trials, a father's affair. Parents' constant fights were a burden hard to bear. But he learned from those days his life's lessons laid bare. Grateful for his father's flaw notwithstanding, there was still a path of love to share. Their love endured. Through national service, they did stand. In the face of hardship, she stood by her man. To the US, he went bravely with dreams so grand, an uncertain future to build in a foreign land. In 1991, Ohio State University, he pursued his quest. Computer science was the chosen field where his time he'd invest. In pizza delivery, lab work, etc., he gave his best. For their love, he'd never rest. 3 months passed, a decision they had to make. To wed, so Sister Fang Wen's journey to US she could undertake. In-laws granted blessings as Sister Fang Wen's heart did not shake. A love so strong, nothing could break. Forever cherished in each other's gaze, through the seasons of life in many countless ways. Birthdays remembered even when miles away. Surprises and soft words in love's eternal blaze. Housework shared in each other they'd confide. With tenderness, their love they need never hide. Together they chose a vegan stride, gratitude and selflessness forever side by side. Their children would proclaim without hesitation, my father's an engineer, a source of inspiration. My mother's a bodhisattva, love's endless foundation. Their harmonious home is a source of pride and celebration. Their children grow up in a home without an argument. They respected their children's choices and created a loving environment. Since young, the children participated in charitable establishments, good inputs to inculcate for character development. In later years, the family taught English to refugees, street fundraising, disaster relief, and other activities. Thus, their children grew to contribute back to society, and they in turn empower others to do the same naturally. A happy family is the bedrock they become. Their love's the rhythm like the humming beat of the drum. In spreading love, their warmth shine like the sun. Sister Fang Wen and Brother Su Kun are indeed two hearts as one. Then we had Brother David with Q&A. There were 4 questions. The first question was, Tzu Chi's mission says compassion's the guiding star. It promotes equality near and far. Yet in the focus of humankind's plight, animal welfare seems to be glaringly out of sight. The answer that Brother David gave was, resources are finite, a truth we must heed. Humanitarian aid is complex. There's still a vast world to lead. Life's the essence in our efforts, plant the seed. Teaching Dharma to humans is a continuous noble deed. And in question 2, if in seeking Dharma's depths, not just for oneself's gain, we are able to improve ourselves and also maintain, to such an extent that does another get inspired and also attain character improvements, does that count as benefiting others? Please explain. The answer that Brother David gave was, to build bonds with hearts in crowds we engage. Solitude's not where we author life's page. Inward and outward we make plans, and by our own gauge, the cultivation within to project to the outward stage. Question 3 was, learning Dharma's art is a journey profound. How do we practice without leaps? It is a challenge unbound. Brother David said, in Dharma's path, perfection we may not meet. Mistakes are human from our head to our feet. Starting with small challenges like our angle script will defeat. Also through other struggle, we learn using our own beat. And lastly, question 4, assisting others is a noble endeavor I share. Yet difficulties arise and burdens are hard to bear. Changing habits is a challenge I am aware. To improve requires patience and wisdom, I'll declare. Brother David says, helping others is a duty we all embrace. But when it's time to let go, let go and let go with grace. In tranquility, our hearts will find their place. Release the burden, but keep the pace. This isn't a race. Thank you for listening. And that's it. I'll pass back to Sister Lily to introduce the next speaker. Thank you for listening.
Sister Su Ching for your wonderful weekly summary. Yeah, okay. Now we'll hear sharing from Dr. Alan. Let me introduce Dr. Alan. So Dr. Alan graduated from National Cheng Kung University Medical School and served in National Cheng Kung University Hospital under the Department of Family Medicine as a consultant. Now, Dr. Alan is a house husband, a TIMA member, and a great volunteers in Singapore. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Alan, over to you. Platform is yours. Good
morning.
Good morning.
Now let me share my screen now. Please wait. And yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yes, can, Doctor.
Now, okay.
Yeah, Alan.
Okay, morning everyone. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to share my story here. And my topic is from desires to serenity. It's a journey to peace of mind. Actually, these days, I found that the topic I gave is not clear enough. So here I have another subtitle. As you see here, a vegetarian's walk of faith. Yeah, actually, I want to talk about the story. I become a vegetarian. Yeah, okay. First, let me begin my outline of the talk today. Okay, we'll have a weight loss expert. Yeah, let's say talking about me, and a fat steady. And then I'll introduce the 21 days challenge and irresistible temptation, and from desires to serenity, and finally unexpected surprise. Okay. Okay, first, it's weight loss expert. Yeah, I used to be the family medicine consultant in National Cheng Kung University Hospital. And in this picture, we are doing a medical service in rural area that is Tong. Maybe some of you heard of this place. I see in Yunlin. Yeah, and I have to say, as the family medicine doctor, most of the patients we treat are those with 3 high, and that means hypertension, diabetes, and hypercholesterolemia, high cholesterol. And there's also increasing medical evidence to suggest that as long as these patients can lose weight, then the 3 high problem can be revealed too. Yeah, so every day we are talking about healthy diet and how to lose weight for the patient. However, if you want a patient to lose weight, you better be the patient role model first, right? Yeah, that's more convincing, isn't it? Yeah, so my favorite starting to suggest my patients was 16/8 intermittent fasting. Maybe some of you have of this, and it's very easy to do. Yeah, as shown here. Yeah, in this picture, you can choose fixed and consecutive 16 hours to do the fast. And for the remaining 8 hours, you can eat any food. Yeah. So my most common way was to eat the first meal at around 7 a.m. and then the second meal by 3 p.m. And I have to say the effect of sitting at intermittent fasting is really good. Yeah, I can lose 15 kilograms in 6 months. 6 months, just 6 months. Yeah, but I have to admit it's easy to rebound. So I use the 16/8 diet dieting whenever I need to. For example, yeah, in this photo, I'm performing health education to the crowd that is also during the period of Mid-Autumn Festival. And I have to look convincing, right? Yeah, yeah. So especially I'm talking about healthy diet, so I cannot be an obese doctor, right? So that looks like more convincing, yes. And or like when I have to fit into my only suit to be a best man. Yeah, so I only have this suit, so I have to be fit. Yeah, so as a result, yeah, just like this photo, yeah, I often gain and lose weight over and over again, like transform. Yeah, yeah, I can if I need, I can become like this, and then soon it's rebound. Yeah, and I was very proud of myself. Yeah, and I even call myself a weight loss expert. However, I soon found this out some disadvantage of this dieting. Like, you see, my body very easy to rebound, and sometimes the process of losing weight often gives me a bad mood. My patient also gave me the same feedback. Yeah, so it's it's also give me some suffering, like got knee soreness, especially when I climb stairs, and I also got mild fatty liver, and even I found my blood pressure as high as over 140. Yeah, that is borderline hypertension. So I finally realized that, is this the right way to lose weight? I feel confused. How can I convince my patient when I cannot convince myself? Yeah, I want to teach my patient the most effective, long-lasting, and healthy way to lose. So the next part is fat study. In August 2021, I left Taiwan, to join my family in Singapore. Because my wife is working here, and Singapore, like Taiwan, is also a food paradise. You can easily find a food and Taiwanese food here. So we often go out for some famous restaurants, and just introduce introduction of myself. I'm a house husband now, so I found I also love to cook for my family, and actually I'm a good cook. So you see here, we can prepare a table of such a feast. Yeah, so my family's stomach is my trophy, so I feel some achievement here. But however, though it's happy here, happy Moon Festival soon, right? And however, after a few months, my weight quickly reached a record high. Yeah, to 98 kilograms. It scares me. I can't stand it anymore. How about trying 16-8 diets? No way, no way. This time I want to try a better way to lose weight. However, can I find diets both effective and sustainable? Then I met the diet which changed my life. Yeah, that is the whole food plant-based diet. Okay. So I'll call it the 21 days challenge later. I joined my first 21-day challenge on September 10th in 2022. I can swear this is probably the best online course in the world. Yeah, if you come across it, don't miss it. Yeah, and I give you a brief introduction on this. At first, participants can learn basic nutritional knowledge and the food combinations during the orientation session. Like this one, you learn the quarter, half plate. Yeah, at least half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables, and quarter should be plant-based protein, and a quarter should be whole grain. Yeah, not refined grain. That's it, whole grain. Yeah. And next, here I show you is the lunchbox. This is my first day here. Yeah, and you can pick up the lunch box at the specific location. And the meal in the box are oil and salt free, and have been already checked by dietitian, so don't worry about this. And the participant, those participants are also encouraged to prepare their own whole food plant-based meals. Like here, this is my homemade Japanese temaki, yeah, sojuan, and there's a rice bowl, yeah, yeah. I'm in Singapore, so very few of the participants here can do the meal like this. So I'm happy to share my works, like the works with my partner. So I can share this in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, like here. Here show another participant sharing his meal, his lunch. Yeah, it's very colorful, right? Yeah, I think I can count up to 5 or even 6 color in his meal. Yeah, and in such WhatsApp group, participants can share their experience with each other, and they can ask questions to the dietitian and the doctors at any time. Yeah, and yeah, here, yeah, the dietitian also give us some question. Yeah, and from this question, we can learn more and find out whether we have the wrong concept of the nutrition. Yeah, so chat group is really a good way to motivate participants to complete the challenge. Okay, then there will also be several online sharing sessions, like here. I'm here. Yeah, still a little fast, right? Yeah. This is the main sharing session. It's a sharing session around all around the world. So during this session, you can learn more about healthy food and hear from participants from all around the world. Yeah. So after my first round, I lost my weight about 7 kilograms, not bad, right? Only in 21 days. Yeah, from here to come website. And this is my lipid profile. Yeah, you can see in, around 20 days, total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol, aka bad cholesterol, also reduced to normal range. Yeah. And some of the problems I suffering earlier, like knee soreness, fatty liver, yeah, and the borderline hypertension, all gone. Yeah. So, so I'm very happy with this, and also found I run more easier, and I had better stamina. So this allowed me to challenge myself with physical activities. Here, I can run up to over 10 kilograms and low, and this so based on the result of my physical activity, and I have a Garmin watch, and it can calculate my body age, and I found I am 7 years younger than my actual age. Wow, this is very motivating for me, right? Yeah. So on the other hand, I think maybe this is the most important part. Yeah, I can experience peace of mind during the 21-day challenge. not myself, I found lots of the participants also sharing this kind of experience. Yeah, so it feels like you can meditate anytime, anywhere. So it's very rare experience to me because as a doctors, we always think a lot of things, and sometimes you have to multitasking. Yeah, so anytime I feel lots of things in my brain, so this is my first time I can feel such a calm, peaceful status in my mind. Yeah. Finally, convinced by such great outcome of plant-based diet, I decided to become a vegetarian. At the end of 21-day challenge, I thought, this challenge is so easy for me, and I imagine that as long as I can continue to eat in this way, maybe I would get healthier and maybe even fitter like this. Yeah, this is my dream. Yeah, like this. Yeah. So, however, unfortunately, right after the 21-day challenge, I was immediately faced with a big task. I was back in Taiwan, so where I faced many and lots of irresistible temptation. Yeah, so then when in Taiwan, there was party after party, and Taiwan is truly a vegetarian paradise. You can easily find vegetarian food in any restaurant. So you can see here like vegetarian chicken cutlet, some vegetarian omelette, stinky tofu. Yeah, I think this is stinky bean curd. Yeah, bao, yeah, yeah, and so on. So I thought I was in heaven, but actually, I think I didn't realize my feet already stepped into the trap called desire. Yeah. So then when I came back to Singapore, I had 3 more kilograms with me. Yeah, this in 新春义卖. Yeah. So and I think it seems my craving for food are never satisfied. So I'm always searching for tasty food. Yeah, tasty vegetarian on the internet. Yeah, I found I lost the peace of mind that I had in my first round of 21-day challenge. It seems like the craving for food keep me from calming down, and I feel it's so hard to resist it. Yeah. What's even worse is I became prone to arguing with my family. For what? Yeah, for where to eat? Yeah, here my kids like to eat McDonald's, but I want to eat in a vegetarian food restaurant. Yeah, so I think I'm a vegetarian. I don't have many choices. Why can't you just follow me? Yeah, then so sometimes they eat theirs and I just go eating by myself. I can agree with this for several days. I am a vegetarian, but it's, ironically, yeah, I'm getting more and more trapped in my obsession with food. And then the next part is from desire to serenity. So I decided to get back to 21 day challenge, and I wish I could lose more weight and get back my peace of mind. And I'm very happy with the result. I lost a total of 15 kilograms after 3 rounds of 21-day challenge. And with the help of food, I find back the peace of mind. I'm very happy, but actually I'm also worried. I would do this again, like I did before. Yeah. But this time, something special happened. I experienced the feeling I've never had before. It was when I joined uh, volunteer half-day retreat um, in Singapore Jinshi Hall, and yeah, that is the Dharma joy. I often heard other brothers and sisters talk about this. At first, I thought if they were talking about the feeling of being touched, uh, when I feeling touched, I shed tears, but I don't feel any joy. So what that? What is Dharma joy? Sometimes I even wonder if they're telling the truth. Is there really a Dharma of joy? Finally, this time it's my turn to talk about I have Dharma joy. I have Basi. Yeah. So I'm very happy. I want to keep this. I asked a brother, how can I always keep this joy? And he advised me to join the Dharma learning and practice at Stone, that is Chen Zongqi Xun Xiang. Enough hard for me to get up early. Yeah, that as the house husband, we have to get up very early to prepare the breakfast. And so from the next day on, start to attend morning Dharma class every day without fail. Yeah, but today was the first time I was absent. Yeah, so for sharing this. Yeah, so it's okay. I can see the video later. Yeah. So here I show is the photo of the participants in Singapore North area, Dharma learning and practice at home. Yeah, so from each Dharma learning and sharing, I can learn from the wisdom of many brothers and sisters, and as well as to examine myself, reflect on myself. Yeah, so Mr. Zheng Sangren always remind us to cultivate both blessing and wisdom, 为福慧双修. And from the Dharma and the word of the Sangren, I realized that eating a vegetarian plant is to cultivate blessing, isn't it? And learn and practice Dharma, or practice the knowledge of that, is to cultivate wisdom, isn't it? Yeah, so we cultivate both blessing and wisdom, then we can achieve peace and joy in body and mind. Yeah, so I I realized that, yeah, so that my fast is at here. So only through the cultivation of blessing and wisdom can we get rid of our cravings and maintain a healthy diet. Yeah, this is the best diet I am looking for. Right? So it should become the belief that has made me a committed vegetarian. Okay, and final part is unexpected surprise. The unexpected surprise is that my changes also change my family. Yeah, actually, is here. It's my son. Yeah. In the past, when it comes to discipline my children, mostly I play the bad guy, and my wife play the good guy. So now we are both good guys. Yeah. So my son, though he's nearly 6 years old, has become more understanding, grateful. He knows without teaching, he knows 慈悲, and then yeah. Oh, sorry, you know the Su Tang. Yeah, right. I even cannot remember it. Yeah, so in this photo, he is performing a sign language song, and we are one family, 一家人. Yeah, I'm very proud of him. Yeah, so and remember, we sometimes we have to eat in separate restaurant. Now I can control my desire better. So when we go out to eat, I follow them to the restaurant they want to go, and I can eat whatever vegetarian food is available in the restaurant. So it's okay. Yeah. So as long as I can be with you in family, so it's okay. Yeah, you go to your McDonald's, maybe I can eat salad there. Yeah. Then when come back home, I eat something more, yeah, like that. So whole food plant-based diets, love in every bite. Actually, this is a quote from the video of 21 Day Change mentioned by Chen Feng. And I didn't understand what it meant at first. And as time goes by, I finally realized the love in every bite include love for myself, yeah, for my health, love for my family, and most important is love for all beings in our earth. Yeah, true love is not difficult at all. Everyone can do it. So all you have to do is to eat the right thing, learn the right thing, and practice the right thing. Okay. Here I want to share you Jing's aphorism in English. It's a confused mind suffers agony, that's pain. An enlightened mind feels at ease. You can feel 清安自在. So in Chinese, 常养不失宽心面. Sorry, I was sure. Actually, okay. 知足少欲能包容，常乐喜舍得妙法，清安自在得菩提方法，譬如水寄送。Okay, thank you. And this is the picture of my done several years ago. Yeah. And this is a vegetarian stove near Reston. And I found, yeah, I stayed in Tainan, and you know the traffic in Taiwan is like a flood. Yeah, sometimes you cannot resist it. Yeah, it looks like the temptation in the world, right? Yeah, But I found the owner of the vegetarian food store. Yeah, he is so calm. He's so in a very peaceful status and sitting there and with uh, his hand crossed and very with his best to do the right thing, to eat the right thing, right? Yeah. He don't afraid of all the things around him. Yeah. So though we live in such a world full of temptation, I still believe everyone can find their own bliss, their own peace, and the joy of body and mind. Okay. Thank you very much. 感恩。
感恩 to Dr. Alan for the wonderful sharing, and truly vegetarian with whole plant-based diet able to improve our health. With the healthy body, we can do more for our families, our missions, and also our career. Yeah, as our stamina it has improved and overall well-being. Yeah. Okay,感恩 Dr. Alan. Okay, now let us have a group photo. Okay, those who are convenient, we can on the video. Okay, okay, wait, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now let us sing for the do the prayers, sing the prayer song. Supposed to be at the beginning, but due to some timing, we have shift this at this stage. Let me share the screen. Okay. Now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sahara land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disaster in this world. Okay, 感恩 to Sister Michelle, Sister Ai Hong, and Dr. Alan for all the lots of heartfelt and wisdom sharing. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence today. Hope that each of us could sustain the Dharma joy and take in another piece of Master's and Hualien love to our life. Let us invite our Masters to lead us in making 3 vows to the Buddha and Master Ching Yen as we depart to apply the teachings in our daily life. Let us pay our respect to our teachers of universal to our teachers of life universal truth. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Masters who could join us today. Okay, 感恩 everyone for your presence. Yeah, see you again next week.
感恩 Sis Lily, bye bye.
感恩 everyone. Bye bye.